अस्सलामुअलैकुम एवरीवन, वेलकम टू आवर यूट्यूब चैनल द प्राइम गाइड्स। और मैं हूं आज आपके पास डिस्क्रीट स्ट्रक्चर्स के लेक्चर नंबर 2 को टीच करने के लिए, दैट इज़ बेसिकली रिलेटेड टू द प्रपोजिशनल लॉजिक। लास्ट लेक्चर में हम लोगों ने कंजंक्शन, डिसजंक्शन और निगेशन के टॉपिक्स को स्टडी किया था। अब हम इससे नेक्स्ट टॉपिक्स को स्टडी करेंगे, दैट इज़ इम्प्लीकेशन एंड डिफरेंट टॉपिक्स रिलेटेड टू इट। Next we are going to study about the implication operator, that is P implies Q. This is a conditional statement that if P then Q. It is a conditional statement because P implies Q asserts that Q is true on the condition that P holds. So if you have to just hold this Q, you have to just follow this Q, then it is important for you that P would be true. So Q is true only when P is true. So it is very important for P to be true. So this is called conditional statement or implication. Okay, if P is true, then Q is true. But if P is not true, then Q would not be true or false. That depends upon the condition. It can be either the case, but it is very much important. This main crux of this thing is that you have to know that P should be true. That is very important to know. You study hard, it is very important for you to study hard. This particular proposition cannot be false. You will get good grades. Now this thing can be either true or false, but the first proposition should be true. So if you study hard, then you will get good grades. Now here is basically a chance that you can get good grades or you cannot. This particular thing can be true or false, but if you have to study hard for it, this should be always true. Okay, so this is P implies Q. In P implies Q, it is very important that your first condition holds, that is P. Okay, let's move towards its truth table. As I said to you that it is very important for you that your first condition is true. If this is true and this is false, then your condition would be false, otherwise it would be true. So P implies Q is false only when P is true but Q is not true. So it is very important for P to be true for this implication to become false. Otherwise this would become true. So P implies Q does not say that P causes Q negation. P implies Q does not require that P or Q are forever true. So for example, I say that if 1 is equals to 2, then the pig can fly is true, because this particular condition is false. So for the implication to become false, it is very important for you to just have the first condition to be true and then the next condition to be false. Then this would be false, otherwise it would be true. So next we have the converse, inverse and contrapositive of this implication. How this implication P implies Q is written in converse, inverse and contrapositive. So if we are just finding out the converse of this P implies Q, it would be Q implies P. If we find the inverse, it would be negation P implies negation Q. We are just going to negate the both propositions. We are not just going to invert their directions. Okay. Next we are find contrapositive. Contrapositive basically होता है कि आप उस पे converse भी लगाओ, आप उस पे inverse भी लगाओ. So it would become negation Q implies negation P. Okay. One of these three have the same meaning as P implies Q. Can you figure out which one? Like if you make the truth table of P implies Q and the truth table of contrapositive, this one, it will be same. So you can just pause this video and just check it out, make the truth table of both of them and check if they are equal or not. So yes, you will figure out that contrapositive is the correct answer, that is just having the same meaning as P implies Q. Next we have the biconditional operator. The biconditional operator states that P is true if and only if Q is true. So इसमें ये होता है कि P के true होने के लिए ज़रूरी है that Q should be true. Like for example, if I say that Bush wins the 2020 election, and we have another proposition that Bush will be the president for the next year, that would be 2021. So if and only if the Bush wins the 2020 election, then Bush would be the president of all 2021. What do I mean? That if and only if this P holds, then Q will happen. So basically, to happen Q, it is very important that P holds. So this is called if and only if biconditional operator. P biconditional operator is basically represented by this operator. P biconditional Q means that P and Q have the same truth values. They should be true, both of them. Note this truth table is exact opposite to the XORs, exclusive ORs truth table. So P biconditional Q, here is the truth table of it, that both the conditions, both the prepositions should have the same truth values, like both should be either false or both should be either true. So it would be true, otherwise in both the cases it would be false. Next, I have told you about all the Boolean operations. Let us just have a brief summary of all of them. Negation P, what we did, that we just inverted their truth values. P and Q, false false would be false, like 0 zeros are 0, 0 ones is also 0, 1 0 is 0, like 1 1 would be 1. So here with P and Q you can use this multiplication operator in binary as well, जैसे मैंने आपको पहले ऊपर समझा दिया है. Then we have P or Q, false plus false would be false, and like this, that you have, it is very important कि दोनों में से कोई एक true हो या दोनों true हो. We had exclusive or, जिसमें हम कह रहे थे कि दोनों में से कोई एक true होना चाहिए, दोनों नहीं हो सकते एक टाइम पे. Then we had P implies Q, जिसमें हमारे पास सिर्फ एक condition में false आता है जब P true और Q false हो. Then we had the biconditional operator, जिसमें हमारे पास बहुत ज़रूरी है कि दोनों propositions की truth value same हो, या दोनों false हो या दोनों true हो. So that was the case. Now let us study about the precedence of these all operators. So here is the precedence. सबसे पहले हम लोग negation को deal करते हैं, और and को deal करते हैं, उसके बाद हम लोग implication और biconditional को deal करते हैं. So whenever हमारे पास एक expression के अंदर ये सब हो, तो फिर हमने उनके precedence का बहुत ख्याल रखना होता है. Okay. Next we have bits and bit operations. What is a bit? Bit is basically a binary value that can be either true or it can be false. Bits may be used to represent the truth values. By convention, as I told you, that 0 would represent false and 1 would represent true. Okay. What is Boolean algebra? It is basically that, as you all know, the simple algebra. Similarly, we are also having Boolean algebra. Here we have plus for or and multiplication means and. मैंने आप लोगों को ऊपर भी बताया, अभी फिर बता रही हूँ. This is the case. What is a bit string? Obviously, when we will have a sequence of zeros and ones, then it will read a bit string. Like here we have this bit string. So the number of bits in it is the bit length. तो हमारे पास इसमें 9 bits हैं, इसलिए इसकी length 9 है. With a bit string, it represents a base 2 number by convention on the first bit is the most significant bit. So here we have the most significant bit over here. It would be the first bit, that is 1. So here this bit string can be represented in decimal format as well, and it is basically representing the power of 2. Like this one represents 2 की power 0. This is 2 power 1. This is 2 raised to the power 2. This is 2 raised to the power 3. And here you just add them all and you just find out the decimal value for it. So we can apply some operations to these bit strings as well. Like whenever we are going to add them, 0 plus 1 would be 1. 1 plus 1 would be 1 plus 0 would be 1. 1 plus 1 would be 1. So here this is called as bitwise OR. How I am going to just bitwise AND it, we are going to multiply the two bits, like 0 into 1 is 0. Similarly, 1 into 1 is 1. So here you can find the bitwise AND. Okay, then we have bitwise XOR. बेसिकली बिटवाइज एक्स और हम लोग किस तरह फाइंड करते हैं, अगर हमारे पास वो दो बिट्स आपस में डिफरेंट हैं तो हम कहते हैं कि उसका आंसर 1 होगा. अगर वो डिफरेंट नहीं है, वो सेम है, तो उसका आंसर क्या होगा, 0. लाइक 0 1, सो आई हैड 1. सिमिलरली यहाँ पर था 1 1, ये सेम है, तो इसका आंसर क्या आया है, 0. इसी तरीके से 0 और 0 ये सेम है, तो इसका आंसर क्या होगा, 0. तो इस तरह हम इनके ऑपरेशंस को फाइंड करते हैं. सो गाइज, थैंक यू सो मच. मिलते हैं आपसे नेक्स्ट वीडियो के अंदर. अगर आपको इस वीडियो के अंदर, इस लेक्चर के अंदर कोई भी क्वेश्चंस हैं, यू कैन ऑलवेज आस्क मी डाउन इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. आपको कोई इसी और बारे में भी कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो आप हमसे वीडियो के एंड में कमेंट्स में पूछ सकते हैं और अपने सजेशंस शेयर करें हमारे साथ. डू लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब द प्राइम गाइड. स्टे ट्यून्ड with us through our Instagram channel, that is the Prime Guide. Go and just follow it and do subscribe our channel for the more videos. Until next time, this is me signing off. Allah Hafiz.